Something is wrong with the way we think about history, because scattered across the planet are structures that should not exist. Massive stone blocks that modern cranes struggle to move. Underground cities carved with impossible precision. Temples aligned to astronomical events, centuries before telescopes even existed. And in some cases, experts still cannot explain how these places were built at all. Number 8. Nan Madol, the city built on the ocean. Off the eastern coast of Micronesia lies one of the strangest ruins on Earth. A city built directly on top of a coral reef in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Nan Madol is made from nearly 100 artificial islands connected by canals, earning it the nickname, the Venice of the Pacific. But what makes it terrifying to archaeologists is not where it was built, it is what it was built with. The walls are made from gigantic basalt logs, some weighing more than 50 tons each. These stones were transported from another part of the island without wheels, cranes, pulleys, or metal tools. Even today, nobody fully agrees on how the builders moved them across water. Local legends claim the stones were flown through the air using magic. That sounds ridiculous until you realize modern engineers still struggle to explain the logistics. The island had no large forests for rollers, no draft animals, and no advanced machinery. Yet the walls rise more than 25 feet high in some places. Even stranger, many of the canals still function after hundreds of years, allowing ocean water to move naturally through the city like an engineered drainage system. Archaeologists believe Nan Madol was the ceremonial center of the Sodelur dynasty, a ruling class so isolated that ordinary people were forbidden from entering parts of the city. Entire sections were used for rituals, burials, and unknown ceremonies. And the deeper researchers dig into Nan Madol, the stranger the story becomes. Because the next structure was hidden beneath the ground for centuries, and it was large enough to shelter an entire civilization. Number 7. Derinkuyu, the underground city. In the dry plains of central Turkey sits a small town that looks completely ordinary from the surface. Underneath it is a city descending more than 280 feet underground. Derinkuyu is the largest underground city ever discovered. It contains living quarters, storage rooms, schools, churches, wine presses, ventilation shafts, water systems, and massive circular stone doors designed to seal entire tunnels from invaders. At its peak, experts believe up to 20,000 people could survive underground at the same time. The city was rediscovered completely by accident in 1963 when a man knocked down a wall in his basement and found a hidden passage leading into darkness. Behind that wall was a labyrinth. The deeper archaeologists explored, the more impossible the engineering became. The ventilation system alone included more than 15,000 air shafts, allowing oxygen to circulate through multiple underground levels without modern technology. And despite being carved into soft volcanic rock, the tunnels remain remarkably stable even today. Nobody knows exactly who built the first levels. Some historians believe the earliest chambers may date back thousands of years before the Byzantine Empire expanded them. Others think the city evolved over generations as different civilizations inherited and enlarged it. What makes Derinkuyu truly unsettling is that it was not designed for short-term hiding. It was designed for long-term survival underground, which raises an uncomfortable question. What exactly were they hiding from, badly enough to build an entire civilization beneath the earth? And if Derinkuyu feels impossible underground, the next structure looks impossible from the sky. Number 6. Pumapunku, the stone blocks nobody can explain. High in the Bolivian Andes, near Lake Titicaca, sits a ruin so strange that it has triggered theories involving lost civilizations, forgotten technologies, and even extraterrestrials. Puma Punku does not look ancient. It looks manufactured. The site is filled with enormous stone blocks, cut with astonishing precision. Some weigh more than 130 tons. Many contain perfectly straight lines, smooth drilled holes, and geometric angles that fit together almost like machine-made components. The most famous pieces are the H blocks. Each one is carved with nearly identical dimensions and sharp internal corners that would challenge even modern stoneworking equipment. And there is another problem. The nearest quarry for some of the stones is more than 10 miles away across rough mountainous terrain. According to conventional history, the Tiwanaku civilization built Pumapunku over 1,000 years ago using stone hammers and primitive tools. But researchers still debate how such precise cuts were achieved without iron tools or advanced measurement systems. Some engineers studying the site have argued that the stonework demonstrates a level of planning far beyond what historians once believed possible for the era. The blocks are so precisely shaped that many appear interchangeable, almost like parts from an ancient industrial system. And then there are the magnetic anomalies discovered around the site, adding even more mystery to a place already surrounded by speculation. But while Puma Punku confuses engineers, the next structure confuses gravity itself. Number 5. The Kailasa Temple, the mountain that became a temple. In western India stands a structure so ambitious that modern architects still struggle to comprehend the scale of the project. The Kailasa Temple was not built upward like a normal building. It was carved downward from a single mountain. Workers began at the top of a massive cliff and excavated straight down, removing an estimated 200,000 tons of rock to reveal an enormous temple complex underneath. No assembly, no stacked stones, no separate blocks. Everything you see was carved from one continuous piece of rock. Columns, staircases, statues, bridges, halls, shrines, elephants, towers. Every detail was extracted from solid stone, with almost no room for error. One mistake could ruin the entire structure permanently, and according to historians, this may have been completed in less than 20 years. That timeline creates a mathematical problem. Some calculations suggest workers would have needed to remove dozens of tons of rock every single day, continuously, for years. With ancient tools, many researchers believe the pace borders on impossible. Even more incredible is the symmetry. The temple remains astonishingly balanced, despite the enormous amount of material removed from the mountain. The precision becomes even more disturbing when viewed from above. The temple looks less like something carved by hand, and more like something uncovered from inside the earth itself. Yet the deeper you go into history, the more structures begin to feel almost unreal. Number 4. Baalbek, the stones of the gods. Because the next one was built with stones so massive that modern cranes would struggle to lift them. In Lebanon stands one of the greatest engineering mysteries ever discovered. The Roman temple complex at Baalbek sits atop a platform built from some of the heaviest stone blocks ever moved by human beings. 3 of these stones, known as the trilithon, each weigh roughly 800 tons. For comparison, that is heavier than a fully loaded Boeing 747. The stones were lifted several meters into the air and placed together with astonishing precision. No mortar, no gaps, just enormous blocks fitted so tightly that a knife blade can barely slide between them. And nearby, the mystery becomes even worse. In the quarry rests another unfinished stone, weighing around 1,200 tons. Not far away lies an even larger block, estimated at roughly 1,650 tons, making it one of the heaviest worked stones on Earth. Nobody has successfully demonstrated how ancient builders could move objects this large using known ancient technology. The standard explanation involves rollers, ropes, ramps, and thousands of workers. But many engineers argue that the logistics quickly become unrealistic at these weights. Even today, transporting stones this massive would require highly specialized equipment and months of planning. Ancient legends claimed that giants built Baalbek. Modern historians reject those stories, but there is still one uncomfortable truth no one can avoid. We still do not fully understand how these stones were moved, and somehow, the next civilization managed to achieve impossible precision on an even larger scale. Number 3. Machu Picchu, the city that survived everything. Hidden high in the Peruvian Andes, Machu Picchu remained unknown to the outside world for centuries. When American historian Hiram Bingham revealed the site internationally in 1911, the world could barely believe what it was seeing. An entire city sitting on top of a mountain ridge, nearly 8,000 feet above sea level. But the true mystery is not the location. It is the construction. The Incas built Machu Picchu in an earthquake zone, using massive stones fitted together so precisely that many joints require no mortar at all. Some blocks connect with such accuracy that even a thin sheet of paper cannot fit between them. And that precision may be the reason the city still stands. During earthquakes, the stones shift slightly and then settle back into place without collapsing. It is a level of seismic engineering centuries ahead of its time. The Incas also built hidden drainage systems beneath the city to prevent landslides during heavy rain. Nearly 60% of Machu Picchu's construction is actually underground foundations and water management systems. Without them, the entire mountain could have collapsed long ago. Even stranger, historians still debate the true purpose of the city. Some believe it was a royal estate. Others think it served as a sacred astronomical center, aligned with celestial events. What is certain is this: the Incas built one of the most stable mountain cities in human history, without iron tools, wheels, or written language. And the next structure may be even harder to explain because it appears almost perfectly aligned with the cosmos itself. Number 2. The Great Pyramid of Giza, the impossible geometry. For more than 4,500 years, the Great Pyramid has dominated the Egyptian desert like a message from another age. It was the tallest structure on Earth for nearly 4,000 years. And despite endless research, many of its greatest mysteries remain unsolved. The pyramid contains roughly 2.3 million stone blocks, weighing between 2 and 80 tons each. The structure is aligned to true north with astonishing precision, deviating by only a tiny fraction of a degree. Its proportions contain mathematical relationships connected to pi and the Earth's dimensions that still fuel debate today. The internal chambers and shafts are equally mysterious. Some align with specific stars, exactly as they appeared thousands of years ago. And then there is the construction itself. How did ancient workers transport, lift, and position millions of stones with such accuracy? Traditional theories involving ramps and manpower explain parts of the process, but many engineers believe major gaps still remain. Even the granite beams above the king's chamber weigh dozens of tons each, and were somehow lifted high into the pyramid with extraordinary precision. Napoleon reportedly entered the pyramid alone and emerged visibly shaken, refusing to reveal what happened inside. To this day, hidden voids continue to be discovered within the structure using advanced scanning technology. This means we still may not fully know what is hidden inside the most famous monument on Earth. Yet somehow, the final structure on this list may be the most unbelievable of them all. Because unlike the pyramids, this place was not built above ground. It was carved directly into it. Number 1. Lalibela, the churches cut from the earth. In the mountains of Ethiopia lies a place so extraordinary that early European explorers believed it could not possibly be real. Lalibela contains 11 massive churches carved directly from solid rock, not built with blocks, not assembled piece by piece, carved downward into the earth itself. Builders began by cutting deep trenches around sections of volcanic rock, isolating enormous stone masses. Then they hollowed out the interiors, sculpted walls, carved windows, columns, staircases, drainage systems, tunnels, and passageways entirely by hand. The most famous church, Bet Georgis, sits inside a giant cross-shaped pit, nearly 40 feet deep. From above, it looks less like a building and more like something uncovered from another world. The precision is staggering. The walls are nearly perfectly vertical. Water drainage systems still protect the structures from erosion centuries later. Underground tunnels connect several churches into a hidden labyrinth beneath the surface. According to legend, angels helped construct the churches during the night, while workers continued during the day. That story sounds mythical until you consider the scale of excavation required. Tens of thousands of cubic meters of rock were removed without explosives, steel machinery, or modern engineering equipment. And unlike many ancient sites, Lalibela never became ruins. It is still alive. Every week, priests dressed in white robes descend narrow stone passages to hold ceremonies inside structures carved nearly 900 years ago. The churches were not abandoned. They were never forgotten. And maybe that is the strangest part of all. Because history teaches us to see ancient civilizations as primitive beginnings, leading toward modern perfection. But the deeper we investigate these places, the harder that story becomes to believe. Some ancient builders understood engineering principles we only rediscovered centuries later. Others created structures we still cannot fully explain, even with modern technology, which raises a dangerous possibility. What if history is not a straight line of progress? What if civilization is actually a cycle of knowledge gained, lost, and painfully rediscovered again? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more history mysteries.